Before I say anything else, first let me start off by quoting Martin Luther King Jr. I have a dream that my four little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Now, with that out of the way, I have this one question to ask. When, as a white person, will I actually be viewed as an individual human being who has their own dreams, ambitions, and will not go and be related to what has happened in the past? I say this because, me personally, I have not been around in the 1800s. Neither have I went and hung a black man, or killed a black man, or done any of this other stuff. And to go and be accused and expected to feel guilt by being the same race as another group of people who've done evil, I'm just like, well, okay. So, basically, I should be out killing Jews then because, as Hitler went and said, hey, they killed Jesus, so that makes it right. Of course it don't. Still, the reason I go and talk about this is because I need to set the framework for what I am going to talk about next. And that is Black Lives Matter. Look, I'll be very honest. Lauren had it right. Black Lives Matter is the Black KKK. And the reason I say this is because, guess what? Black Lives Matter is nothing more than creating two different classes, one on top, one on bottom. One in charge and one being the useless peons that are being subjected to whatever. The problem, though, is that in a messed up sort of way, Black Lives Matter, they do not want to go and be liberated from victimhood. That's kind of the problem here. They want to go and further entrench themselves as being victims, and because they're the victim, that of course means whitey must be responsible for whatever's happening to them. Now, me personally, I seriously try not to judge people on their race. I really don't. I do not go and try to pay attention to it because, yeah, so what is this telling me about this person? Pretty much nothing. Frankly, if I'm going to see someone in raggedy clothing, homeless, missing a few teeth, and just a bum off of the street, I'm probably going to go and avoid them no matter what because they could be crazy out of their mind and try to kill me. You never know. The point, though, is, yes, I do go and make judgments, but then again, we all do. The point is, I try to give skin color as much precedence as I would someone's hair or eye color, which is to say, you really don't notice it until you're asked to think about it. And yes, I am aware that the fact that I don't consider race also means, therefore, that I am a racist because, hey, I'm white. So of course I'm going to be racist. It's not like I can be anything else because black can't be racist because black is privilege plus power. Yeah, I'm familiar with that old line of reasoning, which is something because I've always personally went and believed that murder is something that can only happen to a white person. Blacks can be killed, but they can't be murdered. Why? Because when you kill an animal, do you murder it or do you kill it? And yeah, you can be mad at me for that saying, but the point still remains. If you're going to have a double standard that says, yeah, this here only applies to this, but not for this because reasons. Okay, guess what? You're probably a fucking racist. Look, what I just said was racist. I'm not going to deny it. But let's be honest. If you're going to be offended by what I just said, for consistency's sake, you should also be offended for what they're saying about why a black person's not racist. Oh, you're not racist? You can't be racist? Okay, well then, by your own logic, you're racist. Kind of like privilege a little bit there. You don't think you're privileged? Well, that just proves how privileged you are. But Kafka trapping aside, let's get back to the point. The point is that with Black Lives Matter, the most recent thing starting a buzz is, of course, the police shooting. Now, I'll be honest, this was a terrible thing that happened to the police. And I've heard people say, well, the fact that an individual went and did this means the entire group shouldn't be judged for it. Really? You sure? So, if somebody said they've been listening to the KKK, neo-Nazis, white supremacists, or whatever else, and that's why they were inspired to go and kill a bunch of black people, yeah, we'd all just sit around and say, see, it's just one strange individual who, that needed to be put down. It's not a reflection of all white people. No, of course we wouldn't do that. That'd make no sense. We'd all be on saying, yeah, this is all example of racism, and this is all proof that white people are terrible human beings. Yeah, they're pieces of shit who should go and kill themselves because That'd be the best thing for the world, is to get rid of all white people and make lives better for blacks. Now, personally, yeah, you can actually say this kind of stuff, but don't you ever dare say that about black people. That's wrong. And personally, because of this here happening, this here already reaffirms what I've already knew. That Black Lives Matter is really nothing more than a hate group. Yeah, you can bring up a video of this black girl crying and all, saying that she just wants to be treated like everyone else, and yeah, you can do that, but let me ask you this. When everyone's gathered together and they're chanting the following, what do we want? Dead cops! When do we want it? Now! Pigs in a blanket, fry 'em like bacon. Pigs in a blanket, fry 'em like bacon. Burn this bitch down. Suddenly, I don't think that this is a peace-loving group of people anymore. I think that this here is a fucking lynch mob and someone's going to get killed. Well, what do you know? Somebody took their words to heart. Well, okay, so sit here for a minute and let me ask you this. So the very fact that someone went and took words and then went and acted on them, doesn't that kind of tip you off that something's going wrong here? No, stop and think. If we had a similar group that was talking of, let's say a bunch of white people were being killed by black police officers, and we had a bunch of white people gathering and talking about killing black police officers, what do you think would happen? Oh yeah, that's right. It wouldn't last long. And even if it did, they would be attacked in the media. They'd be going to be considered nothing but a bunch of evil racists. But then again, what do you expect? We're talking about white and black. Literally. Apparently, your skin color matters more than what you do. And here's the funny thing of it, and I gotta ask this question. If black lives really mattered, wouldn't you go and think that, I don't know, black people would actually be trying to go and take care of their own damn community? Instead of blaming Whitey for all the black kids being killed, they'd actually go and say, yeah, we need to go and take care of our own community because, damn, there's more people being killed by black people who are not cops than they are being killed by white people who are cops. And I'm not kidding, there's no comparison. Even in race relation and all, black people are being killed by the dozens compared to whites. I mean, it's messed up. And you can go and sit and say, well, this is all proof of systemic racism. And I'm just like, no, it isn't. Because I don't think it is. No, stop and think. Let's go and take a look at the black community. Here it is. We got a bunch of people that is taught to not trust white people. If anything goes wrong in their life, it's Whitey's fault. It's always Whitey's fault. It doesn't matter what it is. The answer is, white people are keeping you down. Now, not only that there, but it gets better. So, instead of blaming just Whitey and, trying to do something out of the situation, what do most black people do? Oh yeah, that's right, they say fuck education. We don't want to learn, we're happy to be dumb and stupid. Why would we want to be white? And also, why would we want to go and be law-abiding citizens? Why should we do that? We're not white, we're black! So, here it is, we got this bunch of people who don't value getting an education and improving their lot in life, and we've got a bunch of people who really don't care about following the law. Okay, stop and think. If you belong to a group of people and you're all being judged as a criminal underclass, what's the best thing you can do to stop that reputation from taking root? I'll give you a hint. Quit acting like a fucking criminal. Simple. Easy as that. Now, keep in mind, some of you will go and have an issue with what I said, but then again, look at things in context. They are actually black people who honestly believe that because they are black, they don't have to follow the white man's rules. The justification for this is simple. The system was put in place by a white man. The rules were made by white men. I am a black man. Therefore, I shouldn't have to follow the white man's rules. And no, when I say quit acting like a criminal, I'm not saying all black people are criminal, and I'm not telling them to act white either. In fact, I find it kind of weird that acting white kind of translates into most parts of the world as being a decent law-abiding citizen who just wants to go and live an honest life. That's kind of weird. So basically, the message I'm getting here is black people want to be criminals without being told that they are criminals. Yeah, that makes no sense to me either. Now, Personally, I believe that if you are going to go and get back at someone, the best way to do it is to go and use poetic justice. In this case, I believe we should actually give black people what they want. No, seriously, in black neighborhoods, let's get rid of the police. It'll be a police-free zone. It will be an anarchist dream come true. You can steal, you can kill, you can rape whoever you want, and the police won't be there to get in your way. You want to go and get high? Get high. You want to go and steal whatever your neighbor's got? Go for it. Hey, that guy went and stepped in your shoes? Blow his brains out. Who gives a fuck? But here's the part of it, though. Let's go and make this a little bit more fun. Instead of having it just a bunch of black people in this law-free zone, let's go and import a bunch of white supremacists, neo-Nazis, the KKK, the dregs of society, okay? Let's go and do this. And to make it a little more interesting, let's make it a reality TV show. So what we're going to do is, we're going to take 50 people from the black neighborhood who just believes they are God incarnate and everyone should bow to them and they should be able to do whatever they please. Then we go and take 50 of these white supremacist jack-offs, and then we go and give them $10,000 each. And here's where it gets fun. Now, because we go and got 100 of these people, the idea should be pretty short and simple. Basically, whenever you kill someone, you get their money. Now, of course, it doesn't always have to be on the opposing team. You can kill members of your own team and make out like a bandit that way. But the goal is to be the last man standing because, well, if you don't leave a winner, you're dead. And so you might say this is a little bit cruel, but think about it. We go and got a way for someone to walk away $1 million richer. And not only that there, we go and remove the worst elements of both white and black culture. Now, personally, I say this is a win-win for society. There's only one problem. Eventually, we're going to run out of white people. There will still be a lot of racist blacks, and at that point, that's where you got to go and improvise. But that's another story for another time. And you go sit and say, well, that's racist. Not all black. Yeah, I know. And not every German was a Nazi-loving psychopath. A lot of Germans were actually decent human beings who were following a insane leader, but they were too damn scared to do anything about it. The point, though, is, yeah, not all black people are like this. But guess what? Most of them are. This is not racism what I'm saying. They are black people who are honest people. They live an honest life. They don't go out getting high all the time, and they don't go out robbing people and doing drive-bys. They actually go and put time and effort into getting an education. They put time and effort into making money. And you know what you call these people? Kings! Or race traders! Or an Uncle Tom! Or whatever else you want. And of course, I have to go and give a nod to TJ Sotomayor. Because, seriously, listen to this guy's channel. If you want to know what it's like when you do not act black, when you do not go and cuss and denigrate women, and just go and be a deadbeat in general. You go out and actually say that the black community should shape up and improve itself and act like a bunch of civilized human beings instead of a bunch of monkeys and apes. Well, okay, go and watch him. Apparently, being black don't matter when you go and step outside that little confined area of what you are and are not allowed to say. If you're black, if you say anything about how it's not that blacks are victims, it's that blacks are actually messing up their own lives. They're actually ruining their own lives and the lives of their children simply because they cannot go and do anything more than blame whitey. That's the only thing they're good at. They can't do anything beyond being a victim except for killing and murdering one another and getting high all the time. So for those saying, well, you're just a white supremacist, whatever. Well, here's a black man saying the exact same stuff that I am, okay? Well, guess what? Apparently, he's just a race traitor now because how dare he goes and speaks his opinion. And what's more, I've actually seen a petition to go and get his channel banned. Seriously, people are so damn afraid of what this guy has to say, they're like, shut up, you nigger! You're not one of us anymore! So let's get this straight. You're going to go ahead and tell a black man that he should not go and voice his opinion, simply because it does not fit the narrative you want to tell. Personally, look, let me tell you this. I really don't care what your opinions or beliefs are. I believe you should have the right to express them. Okay, I'll be honest. I believe you should express them so that I can go and tear them apart. But the point is, I believe that you have the right to say what you believe, whether I agree with it or not. That said, I should have the right to say whatever I believe, whether you agree with it or not. And if you are to go and say, well, you can't go and say this or that, well, okay, then you should shut the hell up, because I don't care what you guys say. By your own definition, you should be silent, and when I'm speaking, you should agree with everything I'm saying. Because if you disagree with me, then that means you must be oppressing me. This is your own messed up logic, taken to the logical extreme here. But here's the fun part of it, and I really got to ask this question. And this is just stepping off the page a little bit. When did black people take up ancestor worship? No, seriously, we keep hearing so much about the 18th century and how bad the slave trade was and everything else, and I'm just sitting there like, didn't your own kind say you to slavery? No, the white man showed up, and slavery was already a thing in Africa. So when the white man showed up, it was basically an expansion of business. Best part, you go and sell these people to these white people that are coming here and wanting your slaves and all, guess what? Put them on that boat, and you'll never see them again. That's kind of a win-win scenario if you happen to go and be an African king who wants to go and get rid of the competition. I'm just saying. But the point is, here it is, black people talk about this and how terrible it is, and I'm like, blacks don't give a damn about their ancestors. They really don't. They're basically milking off of them. No, I'm not kidding. They want to go and figuratively now dig up their corpses just so they can parade it around and get free benefits for themselves. If the black society, the black people now, could not go and parade their ancestors' corpses around and get all this privilege and everything else, I don't think any of them would give a damn. They'd be like, well, it's not getting us anything, so we might as well let it go, but hey, as long as you got the 18th century, which was like 200 years ago, to go and bring up and say, poor little me, I'm just a black person, I can't do nothing. It's the evil white man, he's been oppressing me for over 200 years. Now where's my welfare check? Still, facetiousness aside, the point remains the same. The minute you do anything to actually improve your lot in life, you're no longer a black. You're a traitor to the black race. And I'm just sitting here like, I really don't want to think of black people as being nothing but a bunch of criminals, but they make it so damn hard to do that, because the reality of what I'm saying kind of goes and flies in my face. And here's the thing of it. Yes, I have met people that I respect. I respect them because they actually act like a human being. They act like someone I can talk to. And the thing of it is, I don't go and care about their race because I care about their personality. Their personality tends to be a lot more important than their skin color. Now, of course, you could go ahead and say, well, you're white. Of course you're going to go and expect the police to be on your side because the police are not actually attacking white people. Let me go and stop you there for a moment. That's not really true. The police do attack white people. It's just that when white people get killed by the police, no one gives a damn. And also, more to the point, just because I'm white does not necessarily mean I favor the police or necessarily believe that they're on my side. As far as the police go, I'm actually neutral. I really don't go in favor or disapprove of them one way or the other. I do realize they are good cops and they are bad cops. They are guys who go and actually try to serve and protect. That's what their goal is. And for other people, they've probably been bullied in school, and now that they got that badge on, they think, oh, well, I'm the bully, and I can push people around now. Well, okay. Well, get this. To go and sit and say, well, this cop is good or bad, before the cop does anything, isn't that actually, I don't know, mind reading? Now, tell me, since when did black people have the ability to go and look at a person and immediately know everything about them just by looking at them? Since never. Alright? But just because they got that badge on, you go and assume they're automatically bad. Now, I'll be fair. I do not know what life is like in a black neighborhood because I have never lived in a black neighborhood. So, do I go and admit that my opinions is only swayed by my experiences? Yes, of course it is. But to sit and say, well, okay, well, in that case you shouldn't talk. Well, okay, but here's the thing of it. In black neighborhoods, bear with me now, isn't black neighborhoods usually full of crime? Unlike white neighborhoods, and you can sit and say, well, that's racist all you want, it don't really matter. The reason that black people are being prosecuted for crimes more than whites has nothing to do with skin color. If you got more people of a specific group committing more crimes, alright, they're going to go and have a higher incarceration rate. And also, let me go and disillusion people from this here. Correlation does not equal causation. Let me give you an example. As far as school-age children goes, that as they ascend through the different grades, their dental work gets worse over time. And therefore, just by that assumption, I have just went ahead and stated that, yes, the more grades you go through in school, the worse your teeth will get. Now, common sense will tell you, well, okay, that's not really true at all. I mean, yeah, this here does happen, but one is not affected by the other. Maybe the fact that their teeth get bad is because they don't brush them like they should be. Or maybe because they eat too many sweets. Or, I don't know, maybe their parents are just poor and can't afford decent dental care. I really don't know. But the point is, going through the education system does not make your teeth any better or worse. It's neutral as far as that goes. So to sit and say, well, black people are being incarcerated at higher numbers than whites. Well, okay, I agree. Blacks are a minority in this country, and they are the majority of arrests. I will go and acknowledge that. However, it may just be that, I don't know, black people just commit more crimes in general. It could be as simple as that. Has nothing to do with it. And let's be honest here. As a white person, if I were to do the exact same things that a black person did, what do you think will happen to me? Well, you're going to say, well, you're white and blah, 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 blah. Okay, fine. Whatever. Let's go and take a look at stuff that white people are doing. And then let's put me in the same situation. Imagine for a minute, you're sitting there, getting high, everything else, cops knock on your door, you fire a few shots, the cops fire back, they kill you, and what do you know? It's police brutality because you're black. Me? Who cares? It's never going to make the news. A white drug addict got killed. That's all that happened. No one's going to care about it. And here's the thing of it. You're going to sit and talk about black people and all. Apparently, if you got a gun and you are using it or you are resisting police arrest, well, okay, the police are going to be a little skittish, you know what I'm saying? And let's be honest, black or not, you're going to go and get shot at if you resist. This is basic common sense. The only difference is, if a black person dies, that's police brutality, and if I die, that's just, a white drug addict who got killed and who cares. But it doesn't end there. Even if the police officer was black and they kill a black person, what's going to happen? Nothing. Really. Because blacks killing blacks, we can't go and talk about that because that doesn't fit into our whites are evil mentality. Alright then, now ask me this here. So what if, just listen to me, what if the cop was black and the person being targeted was white? No, so apparently, no matter how you look at it, white killing white, that's okay. Black killing black, that's okay. Black person killing white person, that's okay. White person killing black person, not okay. We only care when a black person is getting killed by a white person. That's it. That's the only time we care, and that's when we lose our shit and say Black Lives Matter. Remember the entire hands up, don't shoot that Black Lives Matter talked a lot about? Yeah, turns out it was a complete lie. He never had his hands up. He was actually resisting arrest, I think, but I could be wrong. The point is, if black people don't want to be viewed as criminals, maybe, just maybe they shouldn't act like one. And also, guess what? If you want to end racism, maybe blaming whitey isn't the best move. Because stop and think. I can understand what they mean by Black Lives Matter and not all lives matter. Because not all lives are under attack. I understand that rhetoric, and I can understand where they're coming from. However, here's the problem. It is still black versus white. It is still dealing with two groups of people. Okay? Let me ask you this question. If you went ahead and busted up or sliced open your hand, what would you do? You'd probably go and use your other hand to go and doctor it up, take care of it, and help it get better, would you not? Well, okay. You wouldn't go and look at it as something happened to your right hand, and that probably had to do with something because of your left. That'd make no sense. If one hand helping the other. Well, okay, maybe, just listen to me now, instead of putting it against black people being victims of white, maybe what we should instead do is look at it as something is happening to this group of people, and all the other groups need to help them. You follow? The idea has nothing to do with color. It has to do with people are being killed without reason or unjustifiably. Therefore, that's a threat to all people. That said, yes, we will help this one group over here, but it's really not just to help them, but also to help the greater whole. That should be the entire idea. We are still seeing things in terms of color. And people have gone against and said, well, color's my identity, and so you're raising a part of my identity, and if you're doing that and all, that means you're being racist. I don't care. No, seriously, fine, I'm a racist, who cares? You're racist if you see color, you're racist if you don't see color. Again, it only matters if you're white. That's the only thing that makes you a racist, is being white. But again, here it is, we're still pointing out color. That's the main grievance here. It's not that people are dying. We don't care about people dying. Blacks can die all they want, killing one another and everything. That's A-okay, but, oh no, white person's doing it now. That's wrong. We can't have white people killing us. That's our job. Well, guess what? I got no sympathy for you. There was a girl called Lauren and all, and she went and compared Black Lives Matter to being the Black KKK. And I'll be honest, I kind of agree with her. No, think about it. What's the KKK about? Creating division. That's all it is. What's Black Lives Matter doing? Creating division. That's all they're doing. How about, instead of blaming one another, you actually go and try to help each other out? Instead of going with, oh, I'm a victim, therefore go and help me because I'm a victim. I'm getting sick of this. Let me tell you this. You do know that the welfare system is going to dry up, right? No, seriously, we can't even go and afford Social Security for the elderly. Alright? That's drying up and is going to be taken away. Alright, use your head. If you happen to go and be living on welfare, what do you think is going to happen? It's going to dry up. It's not going to be there anymore. Well, okay, so the minute that welfare disappears, what's black people going to do? No, I'm serious. What are they going to do? Because so far, black people, the only thing they've been doing is being a professional victim. That's all that I've seen the majority of black people do. Their entire goal has been to scream, oh, racism, racism, racism! Oh, you're such a racist and I'm such a victim! Give me money! That's all I hear out of them. Well, if professional victim is their only talent, and that's the only way they're getting money, and there's no longer any more money, what's going to happen? It's not be there anymore. And when that day comes, guess what's going to happen? Oh, racism, 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 racism. I'm getting money for calling people racist. Racism, racism, racism. I'm a victim. It's not working. Where's the money? We're going to die. That's about pretty much what's going to happen. And guess what? It's going to get worse. And the bad thing is, just from what I've seen in black neighborhoods, black people's only other skill, other than professional victimhood, is to be a professional criminal. Now, I don't know about you, but let's use your imagination for a minute. So basically what we got here is, we got someone that the Democrats have been keeping on a leash, who, I'm not kidding, the Democrats have ruined the black family, no matter, I don't care what you say. Used to be that single parentness was like 20%, and then I think after blacks started accepting all these welfare stuff and all, single parenthood like shot through the roof and became like 70% that it is today. The point though is that, well, okay, so here it is, the Democrats no longer have the budget to go and keep black people in their pocket. Well, okay, so here it is, no more money to go and buy votes, basically. That's all the black people have been, is they've been a dedicated voting bloc for the Democrats, and that's the only reason they keep getting money. Because they're so afraid that if the Republicans ever got control, their welfare would be history. They no longer get it. So my question is, when it finally runs out now, what's their only other alternative? Well, like I said, they've been blaming these group of people for how long? No, seriously, stop and think. They've been blaming whites for everything that's going on in their lives. And yet, they're dependent upon white people just to go and stay alive. Alright? You get what I'm saying? People who actually work for a living. People who have a job. People who actually pay their damn taxes. These people are supporting black people. These are people who are supporting the unemployed. Alright, take a wild guess what's going to happen. Suddenly that money's no longer there. Well, okay, you can tax the people who are working, but what's going to happen? That'll probably work for a little bit, but you're going to end up with a lot of pissed off voters, is all I'm going to say. And again, keep in mind, black people hate whites. Hate them. Can't stand them. Because, hey, if something goes wrong in your life, blame whites. It's always a white person at fault. Okay, so suddenly the tap's gone dry and they're probably going to go and have a race war. Well, let's see. A race war breaks out. Who do you think's going to go and hire them? No, just take a wild guess. Here it is, we got a bunch of Islamists and refugees and everything else, and, well, okay. So basically, Islamists want to go and create jihad. Here it is, we have a violent group of people that hate whiteys, and whites are the dominant group in control. So, what do you know? Suddenly, black people, most of them become an Islamist. Alright, you follow me? Here it is. By being an Islamist, you get to act out your violence on whitey. Finally, you get a chance to do it. You get a chance to take power from him and take over. Well, except guess what? It won't be the white people who take over. It's going to go and be the Islamists. Alright, and this sounds all great and all, but what's really going to happen? Okay, let's see. The Islamists believe that women are only count as half a man. So, a man overrides a woman immediately because her opinion's worth half of his. Also, if you're gay, you're going to be thrown off the top of a building and executed in mass in streets and everything else. It's going to be a bloody time. So, apparently, once we're done going back to the Bronze Age here, what did it was actually because we failed from within. We've been divided for so long that no group trusts the other, and not only that there, but we were just too soft, okay? We wanted to help too many people. And unfortunately, reality tends to get in the way with an unlimited budget. Apparently, your unlimited budget becomes very limited after you go and keep printing out so much money that it just becomes toilet paper. This happened with Germany after the war. Germany's currency was useless. They used it as wallpaper. And it's not just a matter of being soft either. Like I said, a large part of it, just people who wanted to stay in power. The Democrats are really good at staying in power. Why? Well, it's easy. You either throw money at people and buy their votes, or you open up the borders, allow people in, because, well, the Democrats are the ones who elect in this country, so guess who you're going to vote for? The Democrats can't win the war of the minds. Therefore, they're trying to win the war of the numbers by doing all they can to go and get votes and stay in office. Now, like I said, yeah, it's going to fall through. And unfortunately, when it does, all hell's going to break loose. But the entire point of this is that in the meantime, in the short term, let's worry about the small things. Let's go and try treating people like human beings. Let's not treat them like a homunculus repository for all the sin and evil that's gone on in the world just by virtue of birth. How about actually treating me like I'm a human being and that my faults and sins are the ones that I have created and not the ones I've inherited just because I was born with a certain skin tone? Again, as I have stated in the very beginning of this video, I dream of a day where I will be judged by the content of my character and not my skin color. Well, okay, if your automatic go-to is, oh, you white, you racist, okay, how is that any different from me going, oh, you're black, you're a criminal? It isn't. It's the exact same thing. And yes, just because you're black does not mean you're not a racist. And the very fact that you believe you can't be racist, guess what? That makes you racist! Surprisingly! Saying that, oh, I'm not the one guilty of sin. Oh, no. It's these people over here. They're the ones guilty. Yeah, they got original sin. I don't. I'm sinless. Because I was born in the right demographic. Seriously, racism has gotten to the point where you might as well be talking about original sin. It's not that you did anything to get it. You just inherit it from those who did bad things.